Hello beautiful people, you are welcome back. You're welcome. My name is Odunayo. If today is your first time of seeing my content or coming across my channel, my name is Odunayo and you are welcome back once again to my Zambia travel vlog. I started this vlog yesterday when I started my travel. I've been on the road for about 24 hours. I've been in transit, flying from Nigeria to Johannesburg, from Johannesburg to Lusaka, Zambia, and I arrived. If you are yet to see how I arrived and my room tour, please just go back to check, or I'll leave the link to the video up here. This should be the second video you'll be seeing concerning my travel vlogger. For those of you who have been following, this is actually the same day that I arrived. Like I said, I've been on transit for so long, and I needed to just freshen up and eat, because I tell you, this is about 5 p.m. Lusaka time, which is just 1 hour ahead of Nigerian time, and I've not had my base today. I've brushed my teeth like probably 4 times because that is major to me. I've brushed my teeth like 4 times today. In the morning when I arrived in Johannesburg, when I took off from Johannesburg in the plane, when I arrived now, I also had to brush my teeth, but for bait I can do that later. So I ordered for food because I've not even eaten anything reasonable. I ordered for food and I just said, while I eat, let us have a little gist. So what did I order for? Let me take this out of sight. As you can see, I just ordered for steamed rice. I don't know if my camera is doing any justice to this, and I hope my head is not cut off. I've tried to set it a million times, so if you can't see my head very well, please just pardon me. Then there's this just sauce, and then this is the main course actually. Chicken wings that I'm going to be eating. And why am I showing? Okay, I got this apple. I brought this myself. This is from me to me. Why am I showing you this? I have a gist for you. You guys did not ask me. I told you that there is a story behind my baggage, my box, and you did not ask me what happened. So while I have my food, I'll just give you a little gist of what actually transpired while I left Nigeria and how my baggage almost got lost in South Africa. I would not just want to say that South African Airlines lied to me. They confused me. They made me so, in fact, they gave me psychological issues concerning this my journey, which was not supposed to be, because I do not just know. Thinking back now, I don't know why that lady would have said that to me, knowing fully well that it is not true. And when she actually had a change of her statement, or when she discovered, probably because I was assuming that she did not know what she was saying at first, but when she discovered that what she said to me was wrong, it's just simple of her to correct that notion, because she caused a lot of confusion for me. This is not a mukbang, but because of my mic, you might actually be hearing what as I'm chewing. I don't really like mukbangs. I don't watch it, but some people like it. If you like it, enjoy. If you don't like it, pardon me. If you're like me that you don't like it, pardon me. So what? I think this day is fair. It's fair. It's just there, Joe. But it's okay. So what happened? Because I flew from Nigeria with South African Airways, and while I was leaving, when I was checking in, the lady told me that, oh, I can't check your bag in directly to Lusaka. You have to pick your bag in Lusaka, in Johannesburg. That when I get to Joburg, I should ensure that I get my baggage and then go and recheck in my baggage at the transit desk. That was her word. She said, go to baggage claim, get your baggage and check it in at the transit desk. And I asked her directly. I said, are you sure that I won't have to pay for visa? Because let me backtrack. Earlier, before I even booked my flight, like my boss booked his flight earlier than mine, and he had to use ET. And the reason why he used ET was because he knows he's going to have a stopover in Addis Ababa, and Addis Ababa is not going to give him any issue. The first option was actually to go through South African Airways, but because we realized that in South Africa, if you don't have visa, they would not allow you to do some major things at the airport, and you might not even be able to get your bag. Note that word. So he left South African Airways to go for Ethiopian Airways. But because it wasn't the office that booked my own ticket, it was booked by one of our partners, and they booked South African Airways for me. And immediately I saw it, I had to put a call through to the lady I was actually liaising with. I told her that this South African Airways, are you sure they are not going to ask me for visa? And he said, oh no, since you don't have to sleep over, you are just in transit, they are not going to ask you for visa, you just cross over through South Africa. I said, fine, if you are sure, I'll go by it. And my boss also assured me that, oh, because your flight does not entail that you have to sleep in Johannesburg, because you would arrive Johannesburg as early as 5 a.m, you would leave around 12, that you don't really have to, pay for visa, they are not going to disturb you and all that. So I said, okay, fine, if that is it. So I went ahead with that. So immediately she told me that I have to claim my baggage at the at Johannesburg airport before I can go and check in again for transit. The first thing I asked her, I said, are you sure I'm not going to pay for visa? And she said no. So ignorantly, I left it at that. I just left. I went, boarded, and then left Nigeria for South Africa. When I got to South Africa, right inside the plane, even before we took off, the pilot, one of the announcements was that, oh, if you're in transit, please, when you get to the airport, ensure that you get your baggage and go and check it in while leaving. Don't leave without getting your baggage. While we were disembarking, we were told also, please, if you're in transit, ensure you get your baggage. Don't leave without getting your baggage, which is understandable. That was what I was also told at the counter. So I felt, oh, fine, I should go and get my baggage first. So immediately we landed, I didn't go directly to international transit. I just went to where I should get my baggage. And I discovered that before I could get my baggage, I had to meet with the immigration. You know how it is, just as if you want to enter the country. So I went to the immigration. I told him, oh, I want to get my baggage. I was told to come to get my baggage. I'm not going into SC. I just want to go through so I can get my bag and then go to international transit, check it in, and then go and board. So he said, oh, I can't do that. I should go back to international transit. I said, oh, fine. I was not even bothered. I went directly to international transfer. And when I got there, bear in mind that my flight from Johannesburg to Lusaka is not through South African Airways. It is through Airlink. So I just went to the desk for Airlink and I told her, oh, this and this is what happened. I want to check in, but I need to claim my baggage. And she was like, claim your baggage. Did you check it? Do you have a visa to claim your baggage? If you don't have a visa, you can't claim your baggage. My head was like, pom pom. And I don't have a visa and I don't even plan to pay. Why will I pay for visa? Because I want to carry my bag. That does not make any sense. So I said, okay, I didn't pay for visa. I asked the lady that checked me in, I asked her if I have to pay for visa, and she said, no, I don't have to pay for visa for me to get my bag. I don't know how they do it. And her like, okay, I'll have to wait for South African Airline for them to resume as international transit, and when they resume, then they can help me. Also at this time, because it's very early, it's around 5 a.m. in the morning, most of the airline desk at international transfer was empty. I really don't have people to talk to because it's still too early, until maybe 7, 8 people don't get to come to their desk or resume office as that. So, but she was just there because they had early flights and all. So she said, oh, I should just wait for them, blah, 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 blah. I was like, when will I see them? She said, oh, she does not know when they are going to come. Hey, I was at that point, my head was already calculating those things that I have in that bag, because I just felt bye-bye to that bag immediately. So, yeah, said, you have to wait for them, but I don't know when they are going to come. I went back to sit. I was thinking about my life at this point. I was like, God, why is it mean they're supposed to go through all this stress? So I just like, it's only one clothes that I'm going to wear all through like this. I was thinking about my life. So I went back to her, I complained again, and she said, oh, let me see your boarding pass that had my baggage tag on it. So I showed it to her, and she was like, this is great. Don't worry, your bag has been checked into Lusaka directly from Lagos. I said, huh? How you my bag be checked into Lusaka directly? The lady at the counter told me specifically that she could not do it. And we were told numerous times while on here, while we were disembarking, that we should go and get our bag. How come that I'm getting to your desk and I said my bag has been checked directly to Lusaka? I can't take that risk. She said, no, let me just give you your boarding pass. And then, so she did my boarding pass, gave it to me. I said, oh, you can go to the boarding gate, you get your bag when you get to Lusaka. Hey, I was thinking, I don't have any other person to talk to. Bearing in mind, people had not resumed. She was the only one on all the decks that's there. She's just Airlink desk that there's somebody to talk to, and because she was giving us boarding passes. So I took my boarding pass, went to the boarding gate. Meanwhile, on my way to the boarding gate, I saw the immigration desk and I had to ask somebody there. And they said, please, don't risk going to Lusaka without knowing where your bag is. Go back. Either you go back to talk to the lady, or you go and talk to somebody at South African Airways and be sure of where your baggage is, because how would they tell you that your baggage has been sent to Lusaka? Bear in mind, there are two different airlines. I was totally confused. I said, At this time, I was thinking about my life, and the internet there was so poor. I could not connect. I could not talk to anybody. I was just on my own thinking about my life. So I went back to international transfer. I left the boarding gate, went back to international transfer, sat down there. Then luckily, let me just cut it all short. Luckily, I found somebody. Just luckily, one lady came to the desk for another airline. I think Mozambique airline. There was somebody there, so I went to her, I narrated my ordeal to her. She also checked my boarding pass and said to me, with your boarding pass, I think this thing has been sent directly to Lusaka, that girl wouldn't have lied to me. I said, I'm not saying she's lying. I just feel like probably she's not properly informed, that the information she's giving to me is not correct. I'm not accusing her of lying. So she said, oh, that is correct, that it was on my boarding pass. I was like, so why was I told? I beg. I just carried my bag, laid on one of the benches there. I slept there. I didn't go to the boarding gate. I was waiting for South African Airways, and I was told that they will resume 3 hours to their next flight, and they don't know when they will have the next flight, or if they will even have a flight at all today. I just sat there. So someone else came and resumed and took over from the Airlink lady that told me that my bag has been sent to Lusaka. So I just immediately I went to her. When I saw her, I told her my ordeal. She said, oh, she can't help me. There's still that first lady that will help me, that she just came in because the first lady was left the desk, and that she just stood in for her. That when she comes back by 8 o'clock, I should ask her, babe, I got there 5 a.m. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 hours. That when she comes back by 8 o'clock, I should just tell her that she should manually go and check for the bag. If she's so certain that the bag is, and I was like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. So I left. When this new lady came, I want to be fast so that I don't want it to be too long. When the other lady came, the one that gave me the boarding pass, I told her what her colleague said, that she should go and manually check for me. So she said, okay. she will. And I think she's a little bit sick because of the way she is. She was groaning, and I know that she's not okay. So I was really taking it easy on her, and I don't want to cause nuisance. So I just said to her, okay, please try your best. And no, she said she's very sorry she can't go, but she'll put a call through to the people having the baggage. So she called them, gave them a bag number and everything, and told them to search for the bag. So they searched for the bag, and they came back to say, oh, we found the bag is with us. Not until then did I leave the international transfer to the boarding gate. So I went to the boarding gate, and just while we were boarded, I discovered that I did not collect that pass, my boarding pass that has my baggage tag. I didn't collect it from this lady. Although I'm supposed to use the etiquette, the boarding pass that I misplaced, the boarding pass coming from Lagos to J-Bog and the boarding pass from J-Bog to Lusaka. I'm supposed to remit it back to our partners. Remember, I said it was not my office that directly got my flight ticket. So I had to give it back to them just to show that the ticket they got for me was what I actually utilized and all. So for that, I don't even know what to present to them. I know that when we get to that bridge, I know that we're going to cross it, because basically there's nothing I can do about it. Storage in Nigeria and me will make me put this bottle in my mouth. Or let me just be cautious and pick it up. I had to be cautious to pick a cup. I'll come back to this. So both South African Airlines and Airlink, though, do not get me wrong, they have great services. I think it was maybe some form of miscommunication between both of them, or probably it's just for safety purposes that made South African Airlines tell me that on the counter, just in case it does not pull through like they intended, that I'm able to check for my bag. Or I don't really know their reason, but they actually they kept me on my toes. I was anxious, because we already said it in the office that it might not be a good option, that they ask for visa, and getting their visa is not like this, like you get for other Southern African countries. So we were trying not to even go near them at all. And when I was flying and that was my issue, I was just like, God, why me? And I was like, God, do you want to punish me? Because I almost got Ethiopia tickets. I love Ethiopian Airlines because I've always been flying with them, and I've rarely had any issues, except for one time that they checked our bags into VVIP because we were coming for AU Summit. They decided to go and check our bags into VVIP, which was another departure, arrival terminal totally. And we had to wait for close to 4 hours at the airport. We had to take another vehicle to that terminal to bring all our bags. Those of us that came for AU Summit, they said, oh, like when I think they took our bags to the terminal where they received the head of states. That's where they were like, we know the head of state, we go get there, but we never reach. I beg, bring our bags. That was ever one and only time that I had issues with Ethiopian Airlines. I think it was a miscommunication between their airlines and those that were at their different counters in different countries, because it was not only for us from Nigeria, it affected those coming from Gambia, and I think a lot of us that arrived for the summit that night. I think that was in early this year. Yeah, it was early this year. That was the only time. I've always loved them, so I had that affinity for them. And when I was going through all that, I was just regretting my life, that God, why didn't I fly with Ethiopian Airlines? I wouldn't have had these issues and all that. So I'm just trying to drag this video for a purpose. Those of you that like mukbang, probably you are enjoying it. And if you are not enjoying it, if you were not enjoying it, I know by now you'd have dropped off. So that was actually what happened. And let me just wrap it up from here. Overall, I would have, if you asked me to rate their service with what I enjoyed with them, I would give them about maybe 8/10. I'll give Sky Airline maybe around 8/10 also. They never did bad. It's just me and the issue with my bag, and maybe not just me, some other international transfer passengers that were on that South African Airlines from Nigeria. Ironically, I didn't meet any of them. I think probably every other person was probably informed aside from myself, but probably it's because I'm flying with them for the first time, and that when they give such instructions, we are not actually supposed to take it serious, like it's just a joke that they throw around on here, I don't know, and at the counter. Thank you very much. See you soon.